Hey, Michael. Congratulations on your touchdown against Florida State. I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, look, you're a true freshman. You're in the biggest series, biggest rivalry Miami plays every year. How meaningful was it to you to get that touchdown, get involved in the game? Talk about that a little bit, and also your progress in general.
Of course, it's amazing. Always, scoring a touchdown versus a rival at FSU, I was pumped, excited, especially my teammates coming up to me, congratulating me, all that, and just the, kind of the team connection and all that, just feeling that and then scoring that touchdown, it was just really, really great. And then, with the progression, getting a lot better, especially, with Coach Likens, him, being really into the details and things like that. So I really do feel like I'm progressing and developing.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to Christopher Stock from InsideTheU. Chris, go ahead.
Michael, can you talk about maybe some of the frustrations that you might have had with your injury in the spring, not be able to do everything fully, and then it sounded like you were dealing with something in the fall as well, and just to progress through that and get to this point where you can contribute?
So, I learned a lot after, those, injuries and those, little things. The one thing that it really taught me was patience, and you have to be patient with it. It may take time. You have to really dial in on the injury and make sure you're 100%. You got to continue to take care of your body. And I learned how to kind of be like a pro in a sense when it comes to take care of your body. What you're eating, pay attention to just all the little details that can make me better and actually make me be able to go 100% when I'm on the field.
Great. Next up, we're going to go to David Furones from the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Michael. I remember in the spring, that one week that we did have, you went out there, even though, you couldn't fully participate. You had the cast on and everything, and you were still running routes, doing whatever you could. I just wanted to ask what led you to want to do that so early in your career, and, the benefits that it paid off, apparently.
Mostly it was just taking mental reps, make sure I know what I'm doing, being in the right spot, being where I'm supposed to, just learning those things. It helped me be able to learn the playbook a lot better and a lot more efficient because I'm actually running those routes. I'm actually seeing what everybody else is doing and seeing what routes they're running also. So it just led me to know more about the playbook and know what routes I need to run in certain situations.
Awesome. We have time for a couple more. Next up, we're going to go to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey there. So what was that touchdown like, Michael? Though I know Nkosi threw it, and it was the last one, and your touchdown put UM over 50 points, which is pretty cool. What was that experience like?
It was amazing. Just watching the ball come all the way into my hands, knowing I was in the end zone, knowing that we just put a 50 burger up, it was just really, really exciting. And the most exciting part was probably just my teammates, just being there with them. Just celebrating together, just all of us together, just celebrating the 50 points. So probably just being around my teammates.
And the other thing is, I was talking to Xavier about this. You played FSU, such a huge game, right? The rivalry. And now you go to Clemson, which you can't get any bigger than that. What's that like for a guy that, that's a freshman and now with Clemson specifically playing the #1 team in the nation?
So you kind of you have to have a kind of level head. So, you can't make the game bigger than what it is. You know what I mean? So every game we kind of treat every game like it's a big game. So it's just a regular game. We gonna do the same thing like we did the last game and the game before that. So we take it week by week and don't think it's bigger than what it is.
And the last thing is how are you guys going to make sure? I know Manny Diaz keeps talking about, staying healthy, staying safe with the coronavirus and all that. How do you guys ensure that as much as you can that you're going to stay healthy?
So we just pay attention to the small details, always wear your mask, try to stay out of contact tracing, staying 6 feet apart. We're on all of that, make sure we have hand sanitizers here and there. And we just make sure we pay attention to those little details and make sure we're making smart decisions on the weekends. Make sure we're not going out to parties and things like that to keep us safe from corona.
Thank you.
All right, our last question for you comes from David Lake from InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Michael, I think you had a big third down conversion in the first quarter, I believe. what did that play do for your confidence, just showing, that De'Eric trusts you in those big spots? And then also, too, if you could just talk about what you feel like the skill set is that you bring to the wide receiver position.
So, just that play right there, it brought a lot of confidence, because in that situation, I knew like the ball was coming to me on that play. And, just being able to come in and just make a big play like that. Because, even my, the older guys like Mark Harley, he was like, if you didn't make that play, we wouldn't be able to score that touchdown. So, it just did a lot for me there. And just me, myself, just bring a lot of physicality, just hard work. And then just being able to make contested catches and things like that, or just make the tough catch is something that I bring to the table.
Awesome.
Hey, Xavier, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So I wanted to ask you, you got your punt return against Florida State in, which must have been exciting, but talk about sort of your progress that fans and we in the media haven't seen, the 5:45 a.m. workouts, what you're working on most. Sort of just update us on your progress, because I heard you had a pretty good fall camp. So just sort of talk about what's going on with you.
Yes, sir. The team has, come together really, really well since fall camp. And talking about 5:45, we have some great leaders in there. We wake up every morning and just work our butts off. We don't stop working, and we're motivated by each other. We're self-motivated, and Coach Philly's doing a great job with us.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to Christopher Stock from InsideTheU. Chris, go ahead.
Xavier, with punt returning, can you take me back on your confidence and maybe where that comes from at that position, and maybe some of the keys or the challenges at that to be a punt returner?
Yes, sir. Well, I've been punt returning my whole life, and just watching guys in front of me like Mark Pope and Gervin Hall, just returning and giving me tips on when the ball comes, just what to do with it, and with everything I already know, it's just I'm getting a lot of help from those guys, and truthfully, it just comes natural to me.
Great. Next up, we're going to go to David Feronas of the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Xavier, what was it about the character of the guys in this class to stick it out last year when, there were times when things didn't look so good at the University of Miami? And so what was it about the character, and then how was that translated over to what you guys are doing this year?
Our big motto over here is play the next play. So, our minds are not really on last year. It's a whole new team this year. Whether there's people from last year on this team, it's just the mindset has changed, truthfully. And with the motto, play the next play, we're just doing a great job of just forgetting the past and executing and just preparing for the future and for the present.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Xavier. You also had a tackle, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What was that like? And also just, watching Rooster do his thing. I mean, that must be pretty cool too. And I wanted to ask you about Clemson coming up also.
Oh, for sure. Coach Packey, special team coach, he just put me in the right position, and I've had a defensive past, and it just automatically just clicked in. And seeing my boy Rooster just running down the field just gives me excitement, because all the things that we've been through, that are off camera, that are off media, we've just put in the work so much, and it's just all paying off now.
And the Clemson coming up, I mean, that's pretty amazing, right? You get to play FSU, which is a big game, and then you go to Clemson. What's that like for you, and just the whole experience?
Yes, ma'am. Just playing college football, honestly, whether it's UAB, Louisville, Florida State, Clemson, that they're all a blessing, and it's just all the same feeling. When I step on that field, it's been a dream come true. As a kid, I've been dreaming about playing for the University of Miami, and to put on the color and go out there and compete nationally and just versus teams like we are is just it's just a blessing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Our last question for Xavier comes from David Lake from InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Xavier, I was wondering if you could talk more about Jalen and just Jalen Knighton and the smooth transition he has made from high school. Has that surprised you at all? If not, how come? And just in general, what impresses you most about what he does on the field?
Like I was saying, it's just all the stuff off camera, off media, just with him and me, just putting in the grind. I'm really not surprised at all. If you want my honest opinion, I'm not surprised at all. we've done this our whole life. You know, growing up in South Florida, we get the best competition. You know, and it's just honestly, just the same things repeating. You know, he's given opportunities. He's being accountable and you know, proving himself.
Actually, Xavier, we're going to have one more from David Wilson from the Miami Herald. David, go ahead.
Hey, Xavier. I wanted to ask you about your number change. I know that's obviously you did that kind of right before the start of the season. Obviously, an important decision to you. Just curious what kind of went into doing that and how important was it for you to be able to wear 7 for Bryce?
Oh, for sure. You know, I've been told all camp by, you know, Coach Diaz that, you know, just work. We're not going to talk about a number right now. I just took that to consideration and just took that to motivation and just worked my tail off. And Coach Diaz blessed me, you know, with having the opportunity to, you know, represent my brother up in heaven. And it's just a true blessing. And I just told Coach Diaz I'm not going to let him down, you know, because that's a true blessing to, you know, represent one of my fallen soldiers.
Yeah, hey, Corey. I wanted to ask you about not just yourself, but your class that's come in here, because a lot of you guys have already started showing your talent. You've got a lot of reps, 17, I think, against Florida State. Just talk about how talented your class is, what you guys have shown so far, you think, and then what you see for the future of the Cane program and what you guys as a class will need to do over the next 3-4 years to really take Miami where it wants to go.
I think, man, our class, like you said, is super talented. You know, I got to tip my hat off, man, to David Feely, Coach Feely, man. We get up at 5:45 every day, and we're together, you know, pretty much every single day, and we're lifting with each other. So, you know, we just piggyback off each other characteristics, you know, just being trustworthy, being having leadership, you know, and we go from there pretty much and lead into the future. We just continue to just doing the same thing, working hard, trusting each other, and that's the biggest thing, just trust, you know, just having trust in your teammate. So, yeah.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to Christopher Stock from InsideTheU. Chris, go ahead.
Corey, just what was your experience like playing in that Florida State game? I think that was your debut, but just being a part of that and obviously with the results that happened, what was that like for you?
I mean, man, dream come true. You know, you play in Florida State, you know, at the University of Miami. You know, it's just huge rival game, at home. You know, you can ask for nothing else. You know, was it Thursday, Friday night game, I believe. College, it was just everything was just perfect. You know, could ask for anything more. And I was just playing with my brothers, my teammates, the guys that I get up with at 5:45. You know, Tyreek, Austin Cave on the side. It was a great feeling. We just trusted our coach and we just played.
Great. Next, we're going to go to David Furones from the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
And Corey, it was Saturday night. You got to get used to that now.
Yeah, Saturday, man. My bad, man. My bad.
No, it's good. All right. Well, Corey, your coaches have really praised your physicality at linebacker. I want to know what you want to bring to this defense in years to come as you know you grow into a bigger role. You know, in the future.
I just want to keep bringing my, you know, because as a linebacker, you have to be physical. You know, have to play with your eyes, play smart. I just want to get better. You know, playing with my eyes, playing smart. You know, Bradley Jennings, he helps me a lot with, you know, playing my eyes, being smart, being a student of the game, and you know, coming from high school to college, you know, it's a big, you know, dividend on you gotta play smarter. It's not just bang, bang, bang. You know, you gotta really play with your eyes. And Coach Baker and Coach Zuck, you know, they really helped me in the film room with really locking in on my keys and looking at my man, and not just know me looking everywhere, you know. So that's the biggest thing, and that's the thing I want to be really work on with my game in the future.
Awesome. We got time for a couple more. Next up, we have Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Corey.
How you doing?
Good. You know, the idea of, you were saying how great it was playing FSU, what a big game it was. And now you have Clemson coming up. It's pretty amazing, right? Going from FSU to the #1 team in the nation. What's it like for you? And I wanted to ask also, how much does it help playing those big high-profile games on national TV? In any way, does it help with confidence or anything like that?
Oh, it helps a lot. It helps a lot, but man, Coach Diaz, he teaches us, you know, every week. Just winning is not easy. You know, it's a hard thing. It's a hard task to do. So we treat every game as a big game. You know, Clemson, I mean, everyone is making it into like a big game, but it's just another team. You know, so we treat every game as a big game. And as far as like playing national televised and things like that, I mean, I practice against De'Aaron King and Cam Harris every day, you know. So that's really nothing. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. Just every game is to us is a big game. So
Gotcha. Thank you.
thank
All
you.
right, our final question for you, Corey, comes from David Lake at InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Corey, you mentioned, you know, working with Coach Feely. I'm curious, what's the biggest difference, you know, working with him has made with you physically, you know, whether it's getting stronger, faster, changing your body type? What's kind of the biggest thing you would point to that he's changed with you while working with him? And then also, oh, go ahead.
No, you finish. I apologize.
My second question would be, you know, you're a guy from the Houston area. You know, could you explain to us just how big of a deal is De'Aaron King back home in Houston?
Okay, to answer your first question, Coach Feely, man, I think the big thing with Coach Feely, he's a strength coach. So of course I'm gonna get stronger and bigger and faster. But the biggest thing is him as a man, you know, him feeding in just tips and reminders and characteristics as a man, and just being, you know, because we're still human, you know. So the strength thing, it takes care of itself. But of course, he's developed me. I'm pretty much huge now, so he's developed me in that aspect. But the biggest thing is him as a person, man. He's a great guy, and I really appreciate him. And De'Aaron in Houston, man, he's the guy. He's the guy in Houston. So when he jumped on board and came, you know, I was excited. I was ecstatic, you know, just to have another guy from Houston on the team. And me playing him in high school, I played him. I was a freshman. I think I dressed out in 8th grade. I just dressed out. I was on the sideline. I was watching him from the sideline. But I played him in high school. He was like Houdini out there, man. But so when he jumped on board, man, it was great. You know, he's a great leader, great guy.
Are a lot of people back home in Houston who weren't already Miami fans now Miami fans because of him being on the team?
Oh yeah, of course, no doubt about it, man. He's impacted a lot of people's lives, including mine. Man, he's great. Like I said, man, he's a great guy, great leader, great guy off the field, man. And so when a lot of people, you know, from Houston jumped on board, you know, with you, it wasn't no surprise.
All right, Corey, we're actually going to do one more. We're going to go back to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Corey.
How you doing, Susan?
I'm good. So I know you had one on your stats that says one assist, right? One tackle.
Yeah.
What I want to know what that one tackle. I know you do it all the time, right? But
Right.
in college, did you think you made that tackle? What were you thinking? Were you like, man, this is my first one, or what? What went through you?
Right, man. A lot of stuff rushed through my veins as far as like adrenaline and just feeling good when I got that first tackle, man. I got up, you know, talking trash. So I was just so excited, you know, getting that first tackle in FSU game at that. So I was pretty lit up, pretty excited, and then I was looking at the guy, and I turned around and I seen the sideline was ecstatic, Coach Baker was ecstatic, so it really got me going. So it meant a lot to me, you know, all the work I put in. Just getting the tackle in the FSU game, and it meant a lot.
That's awesome. I guess you'll never forget that one, will you?
Oh yeah, never will. That's one for the books.
Thank you.
Hey, Isaiah. So I saw you played about 20 reps against Florida State. Did pretty well. You guys only have like 3 experienced corners. It's tough to survive a whole season like that. So can you talk about maybe your expectations for what you'll be relied on to do moving forward? How confident you are in your own ability at this point, being it's so young in your Kane career. Sort of fill us in on that.
I'm just coming to practice to work every day. You know, I feel confident in my ability, but I'm just trying to be a good teammate and, you know, being the best player as possible.
Great. Next up, we're going to go to Christopher Stock from InsideTheU. Chris, go ahead.
Isaiah, since you arrived in the summer from where you're at now, where are you the most comfortable? Where do you feel like you've made the most strides from when you first arrived to where you're at today?
You mean you talking about in playing or like as a person?
Yeah, just playing, like your skills, your abilities. Is there something in particular that you feel a lot better today than you did when you first arrived?
Really everything, you know. Like we had the time off during the off season. Before I got here, I just worked on my technique a lot, and I got here, I got stronger. That's probably the most thing. I got way stronger since I got here.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to David Furones from the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Isaiah, I wanted to know sort of what you saw in this program when you decided to commit and obviously sign. When the previous season things didn't look so good here, and even though this class though it was really sticking together. What you saw as far as for the future of this program and what you're seeing with the immediate returns so far this season being very successful.
I knew the program was a good program. The people and the coaches. It's just a matter of time between like putting it all together. Like the players, like they want to win, coaches want to win, team gonna win. We got a lot of talent.
Great. Next, we're going to go to David Lake from Inside the U. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Isaiah, I'm just curious, like, did the win over Florida State, was it a little sweeter for you considering you were committed there at one point? Did it mean a little extra to you in any way? And then also I'm curious, like, which wide receiver would you say in practice maybe gives you the best work?
The win is like everyone the same, I feel like, but the win, the receiver, all the receivers give me work. They all good, like all of them different at everything. So you just get a variety of every receiver.
All right, we're going to go to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead for Isaiah.
Hey, Isaiah, what's it been like as a newcomer getting those tackles? I guess what's that feel like being in a big game? And also, I wanted to ask you about Clemson coming up.
I feel like every game the same. Like it's a big game, but every week a big game. So because you got to win, and the tackles, that's football. You got to make tackles. So feel all right.
Okay, I thought it might be a little more special when it's everybody's amped up for a rivalry game, and you're about to go against number 1 Clemson. That has to have a little bit more of an edge to it.
We treat every week the same, so we just preparing for the next day.